There are questions so deep, so haunting, that people avoid them their whole lives. We bury the dead, we whisper prayers, we move on. But late at night, in silence, when the world goes quiet, something inside us still asks, where are they now? Are they watching us? Do they know what's happening here? Nobody talks about this part of death, the unseen world between this life and eternity. We talk about heaven and hell, but what about the space in between? That sacred stillness, where souls wait, hope, and pray. The Bible gives us glimpses, but it never tells the whole story in one place. That's why today, we open the forgotten chapter, the mystery of the souls who have left the body, but not yet stepped into eternity's light. The silence between worlds. When death comes, it is not an end, it is a passage. The body returns to the earth, but the soul steps into a silence unlike anything known on earth. Ecclesiastes 12:7 says, "Then the dust returns to the earth as it was, and the spirit returns to God who gave it." But what happens in between? For a moment, time stops. The soul stands before the truth of its own life. Every lie, every love, every prayer, all revealed in the light of God. Some souls, seeing this light, run toward it, their hearts already burning with love for God. But others hesitate. They feel the weight of unfinished mercy. They remember the pain they caused. They see, in one instant, what sin really did. This is where the silence begins, the waiting of the soul. In that silence, there is no sound of earth, no clock ticking, no voice calling, only a burning desire. Lord, make me clean. That's what the saints call purgatory, not punishment, but purification. The fire that heals, the place where love burns away what is not holy. St. John Vianney said, "If we knew the power of the Holy Mass for the souls in purgatory, we would never miss one day without offering it." The souls wait, not forgotten, not lost, but in a divine silence that prepares them for glory. What the dead are doing now. We often imagine death as sleep, but the dead are not sleeping, they are awakening. Revelation 6:9-10 says, "I saw under the altar the souls of those who had been slain, and they cried out, 'How long, O Lord, holy and true?' They speak, they pray, they long for justice, for mercy, for completion. In heaven, the saints are alive with love. Their every thought is worship. They intercede for us constantly. Your grandmother, your father, your child. They pray for you right now, in perfect peace and light. But the souls still being purified, they pray too, not for themselves, but for us. Because every soul touched by grace becomes love itself. They cannot come back, but they can be near, through dreams, through sudden peace, through a quiet whisper in your spirit. And sometimes, when you think of them out of nowhere, it's not memory, it's connection. Because the veil between the living and the dead is thinner than you think. Do the dead remember us? Yes, they remember, more deeply than ever. In Luke 16, Jesus tells the story of the rich man and Lazarus. The rich man, suffering after death, still remembers his brothers. He pleads that someone warn them, showing that memory and love do not die. Memory is not erased in eternity, it is perfected. The dead remember not with pain, but with clarity. They remember your laughter, your tears, your love. They remember your prayers, especially your prayers. Have you ever felt that someone you lost was near, just for a moment? A scent, a sudden calm, a memory that feels alive. These are not coincidences, they're reminders of connection. St. Augustine said, "Our dead are never dead to us until we have forgotten them. And the truth is, they have not forgotten you either. The hidden part of death. Nobody talks about what happens between judgment and glory, but this is where love's greatest mystery unfolds. Imagine a soul standing before God's light. They see everything, their whole life, through His eyes. Every word they said, every moment they turned away, and every act of kindness they thought went unnoticed. Nothing is wasted. Not one tear, not one prayer, not one act of mercy. This is the moment of truth, the soul's purification through divine love. Some souls, so full of grace, enter immediately into heaven. Others, wounded by sin but still loved, must pass through the fire of mercy. This is Purgatory, the hospital of souls, not the prison of the damned. The Catechism, 1030 to 1031, says, "All who die in God's grace, but still imperfectly purified, undergo purification so as to achieve the holiness necessary to enter heaven." And here's the most beautiful truth. You can help them. Your prayers, your rosary, your offering of Mass, each act becomes a bridge of light, lifting them closer to the presence of God. This is the part of death the world ignores, but heaven sees every soul that is waiting. The eternal connection. What happens when you think of a loved one who's gone and tears fill your eyes for no reason? Maybe it's not sadness. Maybe it's a soul whispering, "I'm near," because love never dies. It transforms and it becomes prayer. The souls of the dead, in heaven, in purgatory, are connected to us through love. And one day, that love will reunite us in God's eternal kingdom. 1 Thessalonians 4:14 gives us this promise. For we believe that Jesus died and rose again. And so we believe that God will bring with Jesus those who have fallen asleep in Him. Death is not a wall, it's a doorway. Behind it are voices you once knew, faces you once loved, waiting for you to finish your journey. So when you pray tonight, whisper their name. Tell them you remember, because they already remember you. If your heart is heavy with the memory of someone you've lost, pause right now. Say a prayer for their soul. That prayer may be the light that lifts them higher into God's love. And if this message touched your heart, don't keep it to yourself. Someone you know needs to hear this truth. Like if you believe love never dies, comment their name below. We'll pray for their soul together. Subscribe and turn on the bell, because next we'll uncover the mystery of what happens the moment your soul meets God.